Anyone who has bought a retirement home in the last few years here in Turkey, or is thinking to come and live here and rent an apartment here, will probably already know that the residency rules have changed here and become much more difficult. But even if you passed all the criteria, with all the prices and living costs going through the roof, could you actually afford to live here now? So with all the prices rising here in Turkey, could you afford to live here? In this video, we're going to look at our monthly expenditure and let you decide if you could afford to live or retire here and enjoy this beautiful country. So the first thing is, let's have a look at the cost of renting an apartment here, assuming that you don't already own a place here. So let's assume that you want to rent a property in one of the lovely resort areas. The prices here for rentals have gone through the roof. For the smallest apartment in a resort will cost you between £500 and £1,000 and even above. Of course, it does depend on what type of property you're looking at. If you're looking at a 3-bedroom house with a swimming pool, you could be looking at £2,000 a month and above. Of course, whether you buy or rent an apartment, you'll probably have some maintenance fees, especially if you've bought or rented on a complex with lots of other apartments. And if there's a swimming pool, it could be as much as £100 a month. So again, you'll have to put that onto your bill. If you own a property here, you will have to pay some insurances, and one of the insurances is compulsory, and that's called DASK, or earthquake insurance. And with the normal contents insurance, we find that it costs us around about £20 a month. Whether you rent or own a property, you will have to pay for electricity and water. Our winter heating and our summer aircon units are both run on electricity. So our total monthly average bill works out at about £40 a month. And our water rates are about £20 a month. That also includes the refuse collection from the street. Altogether about £60 a month. So let's add that to our monthly bill. Supermarket prices have gone up considerably in the last 4 years. Our shopping bill comes to about £60 to £70 a week, which works out roughly about £250 a month. And we don't eat much meat because meat is very expensive now. And of course then there's transport. If you're going to go around on buses, it's not too expensive. But if you're going to buy a car, then you have to put quite a bit of money aside, because we bought a car recently and we realised that the insurance every year is £600 a year. So that's at least £50 a month in car insurance. And then of course you've got to put petrol in and maintain it. Petrol is about £1 a litre, and I only fill my tank up once every month, and it comes to about £30. So we'll put down £30 a month for petrol. And of course there's car tax as well. And the car tax is different depending on the particular car that you buy. Our car works out at about £10 a month. Another thing you'll have to put into your calculations is your mobile phone. Now, whether you get a contract or not, it's not that expensive, and you will definitely need a Turkish SIM card. Now, I've got a contract with Vodafone in the UK, which is great because it means I can still get the BBC and stuff like that. But you will need a Turkish SIM card here, because for registration on different documentation, and also to register with the National Health Service here to get on what they call the e-Nabis or e-Devlet, you'll need a Turkish SIM card so that they can send you notifications. The cheapest SIM only is about £4 a month, which includes a few gigabytes of data as well. Home Wi-Fi is another thing to consider, and we pay about £20 a month for our Wi-Fi, which is with Sky FibreNet.
So what about healthcare?
If you've got residency, you are covered for the Turkish National Health Service, so you can use the Devlet Hastanesi, which is the government hospitals. Of course, the cost of the residency itself is no small sum. A 2-year residency with compulsory insurance and the fee to a professional translator to help you get the paperwork sorted will cost you around 16,000 Turkish lira each. That's about £280, £560 for the two of us, which works out at about £25 a month, which of course has got to be added to our monthly expenses. You can get a private healthcare insurance policy if you want, but of course the premium for that will depend on your own health. And dental treatment is reasonably priced too. Many people come over from the UK and America just for their dental treatment here, and what they save pays for their flight and accommodation. So all these things need to be calculated into your final figure. So totaling everything up, our monthly expenditure comes to about £600 a month, which seems very reasonable, but don't forget that doesn't include any social life, and that is why a lot of people come to live here. So if you think about going out, say, twice a week, it costs us about £50 every time we go out now, so that's £400 a month. So totaling everything up, our monthly expenditure for 2026 is around £940, let's say £1,000 a month. And of course that doesn't include any apartment rental. So if you've got to rent an apartment, you can add on a minimum of £700 to that. So I hope some of that information is going to be useful to you.
Don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and hit that notification bell so you don't miss where we go next.
Thanks for watching.